Joan of Arc, the patron saint of mothers and soldiers, began life as a peasant girl in the town of Domremy in the Lorraine region of northeastern France, then under Burgundian control. As a young woman, she had a vision of the archangel Michael, whose voice commanded her to break the English siege of Orleans and bring the Dauphin Charles VII to land for his coronation, which she accomplished at the tender age of 17. Though she was captured by the Burgundian army in 1431 and handed over to the English, she was eventually ransomed by King Charles, returned to French territory, and forbidden ever to lead an army into battle again. Joan of Arc went on to live a modest life as a musician in the court of King Charles, and through royal proximity gained the necessary titles to mother 3 sons, who would go on to become Pope, King, and Emperor, though she never married. The following text is excerpted from the writings of Jean d'Alon, Joan's bodyguard and squire, and the source of much historical scholarship in the life of France's most revered saint. Historians of the early Renaissance have suggested that for all his medieval posturing about chastity and virtue, Jean d'Alon reveals a fondness for his charge that goes beyond mere loyalty. As a prophet, Joan's debut in French royal society began with the coronation of Charles VII at Rennes. On that midsummer day in Rennes Cathedral, under the oppressive glare of the rose window at full bloom with the sun at its zenith, she knelt near the altar in her shining white armor, carrying the flag of her country at the feet of France's true and rightful sovereign, and declared, "Noble prince, the will of God is now accomplished, which had commanded me to raise the siege of Orleans, then to bring you to this ancient city of Rennes in order to receive the holy consecration, which proves you to be the true king of whom sacred right belongs the kingdom of France." And the congregation wept with joy and cried out, "Noel, Noel." But a peasant girl in the court of the Loire Valley quickly became a mere novelty, her presence descending into something of a nuisance. True, she had once been the savior of France and led its army to its first victory in generations, but they began to wonder, what name did she bear? What did she and the nobility have in common? At 24 years old, Joan still wore her armor everywhere she went. She still heard voices, and she was still as pure as the day she was born. Her virginity, which had been painstakingly discussed and proven by France's clerical leadership, had formerly marked her as an emissary of God, but now simply branded her an eccentric. I flush with shame when I recall the insults heaped upon this hero of France when she visited the home of Jean-Baptiste de Xantrailles, one of her most loyal lieutenants after the war. At a feast held in her honor, Xantrailles' wife turned and said to Joan, "You tell the future. What a marvelous diversion. You should come to our chateau next week and tell us which of us will have sons and which will have daughters." And this was the most idle of insults, to which Joan replied most seriously, "But, madame, you will have no heirs." Such truth had never before been